top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na na na. For my top 10, top 10, na na na. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because chances are you are the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Dean Graziosi, and my take on his top 10 rules to success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Win when nobody is watching.
Life is short. It's going by a gazillion miles an hour. We got one shot at this. We might as well squeeze every bit of juice out of life we possibly can. So, with that said, the lesson I taught my daughter, my son too, I could have a great story of him, but I love keeping these around 7-8 minutes so you can get some wisdom, get some, and go out and take action with it. Winners win when no one else is watching. How many foul shots do you think Michael Jordan took when no one else was in the gym, right? How many shots did Wayne Gretzky take when no one else was on the ice, right? How many times has LeBron James practiced and woke up sore and couldn't move that no one else sees? Yes, he gets the glory. Everybody goes nuts. Me and Tony every year invites me to the finals, and I'm blessed. I'm not even saying I got it. Tony gets the half court on the floor seats. Tony Robbins, those seats are probably 40 grand each. I don't even know. Invites me every year. I sit there. I watch LeBron James play 3 or 4 times now. It's unbelievable, and he gets the praise, and the audience I watched Cleveland go insane when they won. But guess what? He did that when no one else is watching. You don't get the glory. My daughter last night, everybody praised her. They won the first game. They lost the second one in the last inning. I was so disappointed. But they won the first game. I watched everybody high-fiving her. She loved it. But if she didn't practice, she wouldn't get any of that. So remember that. Doing this work, listening to this, watching this, going through my courses, other people who are playing the game, you're doing the work when no one else is watching. And when you soar, let them admire you, let them envy you. In fact, be the inspiration to pull some people with you.
Rule number 2, take care of your health.
Credit card parenting. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase before. It means pay now or pay later. I don't know if you ever heard the old Indian proverb that a man with his health has 1,000 wishes, and one without has but one. I want to really emphasize the importance of keeping yourself healthy, exercising, eating right. Now, you might say, wow, what has this got to do with success? It has everything to do with success, because here's what I know. If you don't pay now, like the credit card parenting, if you don't take care of yourself now, if you put off until tomorrow that you're going to start eating better or start moving or start exercising, it compounds. And it's that much harder not only to get in shape, but it's hard to reverse it. I mean, listen, if you could fast forward your 75-year-old self and you knew you were visiting the hospital on a weekly basis, you were sick, you had a disease, you had diabetes, you weren't as healthy as you could be, you'd do anything in your power to change that today.
Rule number 3, choose who you listen to.
Most people are wrong that are giving you advice. The other thing I'll say is the most costly advice in the world is bad advice. It's your broke friend telling you how to make money. It's your single friend telling you how to fix your relationship. Stop listening to all the crap. Listen to the good stuff like what you're hearing here and other wonderful people who have done it, and get rid of the stuff you shouldn't be doing and stare at your destination like an obsession.
Rule number 4, acquire wisdom through knowledge.
Knowledge, amazing, you need it. Following others who have conquered the game before you and are crushing it. You need it. You must get in a mastermind. Learn from people playing the game at the highest level possible. Masterminds and group training have literally moved the needle for me more than anything in the history of the world. Knowledge, when it's thought through, when it's practiced, when it's in play, becomes wisdom. You're learning wisdom from most if you go to the right mastermind, the right group, the right mentor. So what's up, man? It's good to see you. I see you all over the place. I see you hustling. I see you impacting lives, doing amazing stuff on YouTube. I want to share whatever works for your following, my following today. But I want to share, dude, your book, Built to Serve. You are built to serve. There's a difference when, I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. I've been in the self-education industry for 24. Doesn't even seem possible. But there's a lot of people that when you kind of meet your heroes or you meet the people behind the book, a habits book, a built to serve book, a time management. It's like you meet the guy with the time management book and he's late getting on stage and stressed out of his mind in the green room. Like there's no congruency is what I wanted to say. And before we chat today, I just want to honor you and give you congruency. What you wrote in this book is really who you are, man. You are built to serve. You reach out to my team all the time and want to help with YouTube and tell us what we're doing wrong. And you're not doing it because of finances. You're not doing it because you're trying to get an edge. You're doing it just because this is who you are, man. So I love seeing you out there. I love seeing you grow. I love seeing the impact you're making.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. I'm still working on accepting compliments. So I'll just say thank you.
Oh, then I'm going to keep doing it through this entire thing to make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, great. Classic Dean. All right, cool. Well, also in that story, you've been really helpful in getting that book out. I remember when I came to Puerto Rico and was trying to get feedback on pre-launch, you and Brendan Burchard took time backstage while you're doing your big event. People paid all this money to come there, and you took time over lunch for 40 minutes to do a deep dive on my strategy. And just super grateful that you guys did that. And you hooked me up with your warehouse and, a whole bunch of things that Dean's a big reason why the book has got out there.
Just a little piece, man. Just what's up, everybody. I see the highs. So listen, appreciate everybody. I see all the cool comments coming in. So how can we deliver some value today? How do we help out? Besides, I do got to plug this. Like, if you didn't check out Evan's Built to Serve, you should check it out. The truth is, I'm not all the way done. I freaking love it. My biggest problem is every book I read, Evan, I listen. I have such a hard time reading. I still have dyslexia. It still doesn't stick. So it's taken me longer. But when I actually read a book, it sticks. So highly recommend it. And it's just you. It's like it's having a 200-page conversation with you, which is always cool.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. Well, I also have an audiobook version. I read it myself. So there's always.
Oh, dude, please send that to me.
Rule number 5, lay a strong foundation.
If you want the magic money machines, there's about 400 million of them on Facebook right now. I see all the ads make 500,000 in the first 6 months, 6 weeks to 6 figures, all these incredible ads. And listen, I am so not anti-money. I love money. Money can allow us to be a better version of ourselves. When you don't worry about money, you get to work on you, dig into the old crap of your childhood, work on your sadness, your depression, your angst, your worry, your stress, work on that. Start doing the things that can fulfill your heart, your soul. So with that, I went on that rant for a reason, because I love how much this podcast is growing, but I want to be really clear. This is about success. This is about the money, but I just go upstream a little bit further than most people. I heard a story once where it said a doctor pulls up to the stream and there's a whole bunch of people drowning, and this doctor's running out and he's grabbing people, giving them mouth to mouth, saving them, running out. He's getting overwhelmed, more and more people coming down. And another doctor pulls up, and the doctor goes, "What's going on?" He goes, "Oh my God, thank God you're here." He goes, "Come out here and help me save these people. There's so many drowning." The other doctor that just pulls up, gets in his car and starts driving off. The doctor's like, that was saving everybody's like, "What are you doing? I need your help. Why are you leaving?" He goes, "Well, you could do that, but I'm going to drive upstream and I'm going to find who's throwing these people in." Think about that. Who's throwing these people in? I want you to realize that this podcast is about going upstream and finding and creating the foundation so you can be successful in all areas of your life. Not the hit or miss, not the maybes. No, the solid foundation for long-term happiness, abundance, joy, and money. So that's why you're here.
Rule number 6, differentiate want versus need.
If you're starting a business or you have a business, make sure that you know the difference between want and need. So many people think, I'm going to create a business based around this thing because everybody needs this. Well, everybody needs to stop eating so much sugar. Everybody needs to eat healthier. Everybody needs to go to the gym. But people don't do any of those things unless they want to. So don't get delusioned and fall so in love with your own product or your service, knowing that people need it, because they probably do. But just because they need it doesn't mean they want it. And if they don't want it, they're not going to cut you a check for it. So differentiate the two between want and need.
Rule number 7, revisit your goals.
If it's July, I want to know, how are you doing with your New Year's resolutions? How are you doing with your goals for this year? Now, I don't care when it is you're listening to this. If you end up listening in January, July, November, December, it doesn't matter. But it's time for a checkup. Because if it's the middle of the year, you can do this at any time of year, it's time to decide, what goals are you lagging on? What goals are you not fulfilling at the pace in which you wanted to achieve. What goals have you given up on? What goals have you allowed to slip and you fall back into old routines? If you want to make this year better than last year, and incremental growth is amazing, even if it's a millimeter, it's growth, then it's time to do a few things. It's time to revisit your goals. You should be revisiting your goals on a weekly basis no matter what. In fact, when you really want to change your life, you revisit your goals on a daily basis. That's right. Write your goals, look at them every single day. If you don't look at them, they're just something that you want to achieve. They become a New Year's resolution that are gone by February. If you want to achieve goals, you got to write them, you got to immerse yourself in them, you got to stare at them, you got to feel them, you got to manifest them, you got to visualize they already happened. Goals just don't happen. You have to work on it. But this is a great time of year, again, no matter when you listen to this, but if you're listening to it fresh and it's July for you, you're more than halfway through the year. And sometimes, we write down too many goals in the beginning of the year. So now we're at a point where you got 4 or 5 goals and none of them are getting the momentum that you hope. Maybe it's your weight, maybe it's your income, maybe it's starting the new business. So here's my advice right now, today. Decide which goals you should just shut off. Sometimes to have a breakthrough, we have to break something. Sometimes in order to achieve, we have to quit something. We have to throw it away. So I would say if there's a few goals on your list and some of them you're just not going to hit and it's causing all of them to be delayed, then I would literally park 2 or 3 of your goals and say, I'm going to start those in the beginning of next year. But the ones that are left, you're going to achieve.
Rule number 8, acknowledge your evil self.
If you're listening to me, you're somebody who wants to work on your own evolution. You want to work on your own growth. You want to be a better version of you, more money, more happiness, more joy. I get that. We just talked about that, right? But man, doesn't somebody else live inside of us? Like the past version of us, the version that school may have created, or parents may have created, or an ex-spouse may have created, or your surroundings, or the news, or society, or where you grow up. And it's like we're running away from the evil bastard, that's what I'm calling him right now, living inside us while simultaneously we're being a better version of us. And all I'm going to share with you today is acknowledge it. Look out for that person. Look out for the person talking that really isn't the person that you want to be. Maybe it's the person you used to be. Maybe it's the person other people think you are, but it's not the person you want to be. And all I can say is be on the lookout. I want to tell you this story this morning. I just got back from, as I'm talking to you, last week, I jumped on a plane and flew to Marco Island and spoke at Tony Robbins' Wealth Mastery. Amazing that the Wealth Mastery students, all Tony Robbins students, you guys are all the same, on fire, motivation, inspired, ready to learn, ready to gain the wisdom. So rock that stage. It was amazing. I drive across it's where the Okeechobee lake is, across in Florida. I drove across the swamp. God, there's a better, I can't think of it, the Everglades. There it is. Oh my God, I'm not that dumb, I promise. So I drive across the Everglades. I go over to Miami, had some business there. The next day I did a podcast with Grant Cardone. That was great. But it took like 5 days, and my kids went out of town 2 days before with their mom to Indiana to see to see their family, right? So I didn't see my kids for like 6 days. So no big deal. Doesn't seem like a big deal. It's a big deal to me. Success in my life right now is keeping my business growing, learning, growing, become a better version of me, and being a badass dad. And I miss my kids. I never go any place where I'm not going to see them more than 3 days. I just don't. But I didn't see them for almost 6 days. So I get home last night, and it was a little late. Didn't get much time with them. So this morning, I really wanted to see my kids. So I got up super early. I went to the gym at 5 so I wouldn't miss them. I get back on time, and this all makes sense to you. So we'll get to the learning part of this in a moment. I get back, and I shower quick, and I make them an amazing breakfast. I cut up all kinds of fresh veggies. I saute garlic, olive oil, onions, peppers. No peppers. Didn't like peppers. Asparagus and zucchini and fresh tomatoes out of the garden. I make that up. I mix it with eggs, a couple bagels, cut up fruit. I lay out the whole table for them. I get up, and I missed my kids. I hadn't seen them, and I wanted them to run to me and be happy and joyful and so excited to see me. And they were kind of like, "Hey, what's up, Dad?" I was like, "All right." Got a little butthurt, but that's kids. And then we ate breakfast, and my daughter had forgot something that was her responsibility to forget. And I'm telling you this again, stick with me here. My daughter forgets something, and she wants us to go get it. Love and logic parenting that helps kids be more responsible. It's like, "Oh, Brie, I'm so sorry you forgot that." but you were reminded twice and you forgot it. So the consequence is you're not going to have it today. And she got really mad at me. And it's hard because I missed them. I just want to be the dad that loves them, that just says, okay, I'll do whatever you want, Bree. Just, her name's Brianna, to do it. But so I did that part so right, taught her a lesson. She'll never forget it again, even if she's a little upset with me. Parenting is like credit card. Either pay now or you pay later. You're paying eventually. So I'm deciding to pay it now. So I have such great kids. But then she got mad at me and she was rude to me. And my daughter never is. And then she went to walk by me and I went to give her a hug and she kind of pushed me away. And you know what I did? I snapped. That ugly bastard living inside of me took over, and I said to my daughter, I dropped the F-bomb. I'm so embarrassed. Yes, I swear a little bit, but never in front of my kids. I was like, don't treat me that way, Bree. I don't deserve it. And I was rude to her and she started to cry. It's a terrible parenting moment. Terrible. But that was the little bastard that lived inside of me. That's how I was raised. That's how my dad talked to me. That's how my dad treated me. Dad's a great guy. That's how he learned. He would he'd knock stuff off the table. He'd flip out, yell, break shit, punch the window, break the windshield while we're driving. I didn't even know he lived inside of me. Still there after all these years. This is what I do for a living. It's my own daughter. I love her more than any other human being on this earth besides my son. And I did it. And as soon as it popped out of my mouth, I could have leaned into it and go, nope, that's who I am. As soon as it popped out, I stopped. I was like, oh my God, that's not me. That's not the man I want to be. That's not the example I want to be. That's not who I am. I composed myself and I went and sat with my daughter and apologized and told her dad made a monster mistake. I said, yes, I missed you. Yes, you should have not forgot your thing when you were reminded 3 times. No, you shouldn't be rude to your dad. But none of that gives an excuse for me to act the way I just acted to you, Brianna. That was really a bad parenting moment. And I said, I'm sorry. And I'm still a little shaken by it. She goes, I accept your apology, Dad. And amongst her tears, she gave me a hug. I even called her on her way to school, to summer camp. And I apologized again. But I'm upset with me. But I'm going to feel that pain today. Because that ugly little bastard living inside me, that rude bastard living inside me, I want him dead and gone forever. So my point to you is, remember that it lives inside of us. Remember there's old ways, things we were brought up, things we were taught that are here. We're working on our growth. You're listening to me because you want more. But that person still lives there. And when he comes out, acknowledge it and figure a way to kill him once and for all. And we can do that by just being aware of it. We can do that by saying different words. We can do that by taking pauses. We can do that. And look how that makes us feel compared to doing it the opposite way. We can read more. We can learn more. We can learn from those doing it at the highest level possible instead of our own trial and error. Do exactly what you're doing.
Rule number 9, forgive.
I think forgiveness is one of those things that no one would ever consider as being a success habit, nevertheless a millionaire success habit. What the hell does forgiveness have to do with it? It's too foo-foo. I want the tactical money-making stuff, right? I want to get to the nitty-gritty, but here's what I know. There's only a certain amount of time in a day. There's only a certain amount of energy in a day. And not even just time and energy, the clarity of creative thinking compared to the clarity of busy thinking. Listen, you might have time, you're squeezing it in to think about your bigger future, your bigger business, making more money. But if you don't have clarity in those thoughts, if your heart isn't open, then the universe, God, whatever you believe in, the marketing geniuses, the marketing inspiration doesn't funnel down into the top of your head and come out of your mouth. And without marketing and creativity, then what do you have? Without the planning to follow through, without the stamina to get over the hurdles when shit goes sideways, what do you have? You have a good idea. Everybody's got a good idea. You're listening to me right now, not just because you want some magic money machine. You want the foundation for wealth and sustainability and success. If I'm wrong, then I apologize. Maybe you're looking for the quick hit, but how long does that work? Even people who hit the lotto go broke on average, right? So what the heck does forgiveness have to do with success? Everything. I think forgiveness is one of the most underutilized, not just words, but things in our world, in our ability to grow as a human. I want to give you an example. The reason this is on top of my head is my son, who just 2 nights ago when I'm recording this, won the state championship for their 10-year-old division of baseball, which was so awesome. So watching him. He did great. They did awesome. But I want to back up. My son has been on the same team since he was 4 years old, with the same coach. Love this guy. He's one of the greatest guys. His wife is amazing. He's amazing. Loves kids. And they play twice a year, so they pretty much play all year round. He coaches the All-Star team too, so he plays spring ball, fall ball, and summer All-Star. So he's pretty much with this guy all year round. And he's got a son named Dean, same name as me. And I love Dean. I always tease him. I said, that's my name. I had it first. You're Bob. So when I get there, he's always like, no, you're Bob. But in the last 6 months, Dean's changed. Dean has been mean. He's been a bully, and especially to my son, Brody. And I think it's a competitive thing. Dean is good, Brody's better. Brody's bats first. Brody's 9 on the 10, 11-year-old team, and he still bats first, probably the best average on base of anybody on the team. Not because he's my son, he's just good. He's small, but he's good, and he's a hustler. But the last 6 months, Dean has been really tough on Brody. So I don't want to just solve this for my son. I want him to figure it out on his own. So I keep saying, hey, you got to stand up for yourself. I say, hey, how does that make you feel? Make sure you realize that that's his opinion. That's not who you are. Like all the stuff fundamentally out of the book, doing it right, trying to empower my son because I'm not going to always be there to protect him, right? Well, the last All-Star game, as we were building up to we had the semifinals, my son gets up, goes 4 for 4. In the dugout, Dean comes up to my son because Dean is sitting. There's only one person sitting. My son is smaller than him. My son is younger than him, and his dad is the coach, and he's sitting the bench. He comes up to my son. He says, "You suck at hitting, and you're dumb." And my son said, "You're dumb for saying that." I asked him exactly what he said, and Dean smacked my son in the face. Well, Brody comes out. My son's Brody. Brody comes out of the dugout with a tear in his eye and his face red. I said, "What happened?" He said, "Dean just smacked me." And listen, if you're a parent, you know exactly what happened. The hair on the back of my neck stood up, and I wanted to go kick a 10-year-old's ass. I just be honest. Like, I wanted to go in there and choke him and say, "Did you lay a hand on my son?" I did walk up to him, and I wanted to know if it was, I said, "Did you just hit my son?" And he didn't say that. I said, "Did you just hit my son?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." I said, "Go apologize to him." That's all I said. I went up and talked to his mom. I was furious. I was shaking on the inside because I know what my emotions want to do. I knew it was right. So why am I telling you this whole story? Well, how does it relate to you? I promise you it does. So I went home that night, and I was so mad, so upset. But I had the chance to teach a lesson to Brody. And I hated the feeling I had. I was mad at Mike, who's the greatest guy in the world, the greatest dad. His son's going through something. Somebody's probably picking on Dean. And we found out that's true. So I emailed Mike. I said, "Mike, you're a great coach. We love your family, but it's unacceptable that your son put his hand on my son. It's been 6 months. I've been trying to get Brody to stand up for himself. Brody will play the All-Star game, and then we're out. We're done." Mike replied back as the good man he is and said, "I'm embarrassed as a coach, and I failed as a father. I should have seen this. I should have known. I wish I knew sooner." And he dug in, and he got it. So why am I telling you? Because that night, I sat with my son, and I didn't like the way it felt to have anger. I didn't like the way it felt to be mad. And I said, "Buddy, the greatest word I know, I wish I knew it sooner, is forgiveness. Dean's been a good kid. Mike's an amazing dad. What if we just forgave them? What if we gave them a second chance? What if you want to forgive them, I'd like you to stay on the team, but it's totally up to you." He goes, "No, Mike's been good to me. I want to stay on the team. Let's forgive them." Kind of paraphrasing our conversation. So I email Mike. We go back to the practice. Mike, the coach, walks up to me with his head down, literally with a tear in his eye. And he said, "Your son," and I'm not saying this because my boy, but he said, my son's the sweetest boy you've ever met in your life. Sweet voice. He's not aggressive. He might not make it in high school baseball because he's so not aggressive. He's sweet. He's just kind." And Mike says to me, "I'm not just saying this. Your son is my favorite kid I've coached in 10 years. Your son is the reason I coach. I love that kid. My son writes the coach thank you notes. That's my son. He busts my chops sometimes, but he's amazing to everybody else." So Mike comes up, and I said, "Mike, how about this? It's past. It's behind us. Hopefully Dean can learn from it. We appreciate everything you've done, and we really love you guys. Thank you, and let's move on from here. Let's get to practice." And he had a tear in his eye, and he was like, I don't understand. If that was my son and someone did that to my son, I couldn't even look at me. I'd want to fight me." He's like, I wish I could let go of things like that." He goes, he pulled his hat off because I'm probably bald because I worry about all the stuff people have done to me. I said, "I promise you, I'm not just saying that. That's our family. We're done. Forgiveness has happened. Brody goes out. I could cry. Now I could have tears in my eyes. Brody goes out and grabs Dean and says, hey, let's play catch. I look out, these two, Dean is so sorry that he's out there playing with Brody. He said, good catch, Brody. I'm so awesome, Brody. I can't wait to watch you hit today, Brody. You're going to crush it today, Brody. My son was smiling from ear to ear. Mike wipes the tears from his eyes, shakes my hand. He's like, you're a good man. You're a good man. I'm like, I'm not a good man. Just something simple. Forgiveness. It's gone for me. It's gone for my son. He learned the lesson of a lifetime. My dad couldn't have forgiveness. My dad, his father abused him. He took advantage of him. His family abused him. So he never forgave anybody, and he lived with anger his whole life. That's probably why I'm the opposite. So how does that relate to you? Why am I doing this training on forgiveness? Because if you have somebody in your life who took advantage of you, I'm sorry. Someone who cheated, stole from you, lied to you, ruined something, ruined a partnership, caused you to go bankrupt, caused you to lose a job. It sucks, but guess what? If you haven't forgiven them, it's only hurting you because there's only so much time, effort, and energy in a day. And if you're using that even with a fraction of what went wrong, why they did it, whose fault it is, then you don't have enough to compete in today's world. This is a competitive world. You need all your energy, all your juices, all your focus, all your enthusiasm focused on where you want to go, not something somebody did to you. You can't undo it, so you might as well forgive.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is focus on marketing.
If you were to start a business tomorrow, I would say what you should do above everything else is find the closest competition that's successful. Even if it's not the exact product, something similar, and stalk them. Stalk every bit of their marketing over everything else. I mean, every detail. Don't just look and say, oh, they're using blue and logos. No, look at the wording, look at the messaging. Why are they getting people to take action? What does their first website look like? Their opt-in page? What is their registration page if they're an online business? What is their follow-through? What does the sales video sound like, look like? What does it talk about? What are the keywords? What are the headlines? If you get an email from the company, what's the subject line? What's written in the email? What does the link look like? And then I would order the product. Do what entrepreneurs do best. Cut a check for speed. Order the product. Order the similar product or something in the same genre. How does the product get there? What are the shipping options? How long does it take to arrive? When it arrives, do you get an email? And what's the email say? Does it offer you additional products when you order the products? Does it offer you additional products at a discount or additional services that you can help with? When the product gets there, dissect it, pull it apart. Then as far as product goes, how can you improve upon the product? How can you put a unique twist on it? How can you go upstream and make it one step better, disqualifying the competition, making yours the universal piece? What I'm saying is, most people focus on the products, the colors, the look, the feel, ask opinions. Most of your energy has to be obsessed on the marketing to get people to want what it is so you can serve them. Yes, make your product the best on the planet. But once you do, your product, your service, your idea, your company, the houses you sell, whatever it is you want to do, make sure it's the best. But once it's the best, your obsession has to be on marketing. Marketing and sales are the oxygen for every successful business. But people will spend 90% of their energy on the completely wrong things. Go, oh, I'm just going to put it out there, and if I build it, they will come. If I put it for sale, they'll take it. That's simply not true. That's Field of Dreams. That's a movie with Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come. They won't come. They will never come. You focus on marketing. Read books on marketing. Read books on copywriting. Find competitors that aren't even in, they're not competitors. They're not even in the same genre as you, but they're killing it online or killing it with their retail store, and see what they're doing. See how they treat their customers. See how their customer service sounds. Guys, if you want your own business to thrive, or you want to start your own business, you got to throw away most everything you're taught because they're all wrong. What is it? 70% of all businesses fail within the first 5 years? This is why. The focus is wrong. Listen, are there outliers where you build it and they come? Yes, that's 1 in a million. Then there's another gazillion people trying, working their asses off. And I'm not saying it's laziness. Sometimes it's the hardest work ever. But if it doesn't sell, if people don't buy it, if people don't talk about it, if people don't refer it, then it's just a really great idea.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video? And what is your plan of action that you're going to execute this week to make some immediate momentum happen? When you just get motivated and watch a video, you have a 35% chance of following through. That's what the sign says. But when you write down what time, what day, what place you're actually going to execute, when you create the plan, you have a 91% chance of following through. And I want that for you. And when you commit to people publicly, you increase your chances even more of actually doing it. So I want to know what your single biggest takeaway from this video was and your specific plan of action to actually get the result you're after. Let me know. Put it down in the comments below because I want to celebrate you.
Stop searching for 6 million opinions. Sometimes we get great advice and we don't take action. So we look for more advice and we don't take action. And we look for more advice. We read a new book, find a new podcast, find a new guru, find a new expert, because we either don't take action at all, or we dabble, or we go in half-assed so it doesn't work. We go, oh, that didn't work what Dean said, so let me try with Bob, and then Joe, and then Tony, and then Brendan, and we just keep going and going and going. I watch it. I see it sometimes. Another person, another variation, and this is not knocking you in any way. This is all about me getting you to take action and live the life you want. Another person who hides inaction with, I need to learn everything. I need to know all the rules. I need to read everything about it. I need to study. I need to get 5 courses and listen to 50 podcasts. And they go and go and go. And their inaction is caused by needing more information. If I study more, if I have more wisdom, it's really just your subconscious finding a way to protect you by not taking action. Because when you take action on something new, on the opposite side of that could be a failure, could be something that didn't work, could be scary. So your subconscious says, no, let's just get more data. Let's get more data, then we'll take action. No, you're just scared. You're just fearful.
If you want to change your life in the next 30 days for free, check out my training right here below. Or if you want 10 more awesome rules from Dean Graziosi, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy them. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.